Louisiana has become the first state to require the 10 Commandments be posted in classrooms.
Wouldn't it make sense if you followed some of the 10 Commandments?
All right, listen up, y'all.
Greetings, everybody. This is DrAbdullah, your host and educator of All Things Education Official, giving you educational news from a foundational Black American man's perspective. If you like what you're seeing, like what you're hearing, please subscribe, comment, like, and share. Come on over. Let me know what you think about our content. And here we go. In the 2024 New York Times article, Louisiana requires all public classrooms to display 10 Commandments, a law signed by Governor Jeff Landry on Wednesday makes the state the only one with such a mandate. Critics have vowed to mount a constitutional challenge. Jeff Landry, governor, signed legislation on Wednesday requiring the display of the 10 Commandments in every public classroom in Louisiana, making the state the only one with such a mandate and reigniting the debate over how porous the boundary between church and state should be. Critics, including the American Civil Liberties Union and the Freedom from Religious Foundation, vowed a legal fight against the law they deemed blatantly unconstitutional. But it is a battle that proponents are prepared and in many ways eager to take on.
The bill signed into law by Republican Governor Jeff Landry requires the signs be, quote, in large, easily readable font in all public elementary and high school classrooms. By 2025, in case that wasn't enough, the posters will also include a 3-paragraph statement that will say the 10 Commandments have been a prominent part of American education. Other states, including Tennessee and Texas, have considered implementing similar laws. And as expected, the move has already sparked legal challenges. The ACLU tweeted, quote, "We're suing Louisiana for requiring all public schools to display the 10 Commandments in every classroom. Public schools are not Sunday schools." Many were outraged by the news online. Human rights lawyer Qasim Rashad tweeted, quote, "Louisiana's governor just signed a law mandating 10 Commandments be displayed at all public schools, but rejected the opportunity to ensure all children at those public schools are fed lunch." Louisiana has the second highest rate of poverty among children in the United States. What a disgrace. Democratic Representative Eric Swalwell tweeted, "Oh, come on. MAGA leaders don't even follow the 10 Commandments. The second one says you shall not make for yourself a false idol." Radio host Eric Erickson tweeted, quote, "I graduated from a Louisiana public school where most classrooms had the 10 Commandments on the wall, but when the third grade reading level is only 49%, I don't see why the state wants to spend the money on lawyers for probably an unconstitutional law, making the 10 Commandments mandatory just to virtue signal a side in a culture war. Actually use conservative reforms to fix the schools instead of putting up posters half the third grade cannot even read." But First Liberty Institute insists this is a great use of resources. In a statement, their attorney said, "Putting the historic document on schoolhouse walls is a great way to remind students of the foundations of American and Louisiana law. We applaud Louisiana for being the first, but by no means the last, state to take this bold step for religious liberty."
"I can't wait to be sued," Mr. Landry said on Saturday at a Republican fundraiser in Nashville, according to the Tennessean. And on Wednesday, as he signed the measure, he argued that the 10 Commandments contain a valuable lesson for students. "If you want to respect the rule of law," he said, "you've got to start from the original lawgiver, which was Moses." The measure in Louisiana requires that the 10 Commandments be displayed in every classroom of every public elementary, middle, and high school, as well as public college classrooms. The posters must be no smaller than 11 by 14 inches, and the commandments must be the central focus of the poster and in a large, easily readable font. It will also include a 3-paragraph statement asserting that the 10 Commandments were a prominent part of American public education for almost 3 centuries. The 10 Commandments is there time and time again as the basis and foundation for the system that America was built upon, said Matt Krause, a lawyer for the First Liberty Institute, a nonprofit legal organization defending religious expression. Given all the junk our children are exposed to in the classroom today, it is imperative that we put the 10 Commandments back in a prominent position. And State Representative Dodie Horton, the Republican sponsor, of the legislation. Critics said the legislation was a clear unconstitutional violation. In a joint statement, groups including the American Civil Liberties of the Union of Louisiana, Americans United for Separation of Church and State, and the Southern Poverty Law Center argued that the law violates students and families' fundamental rights to religious freedom. Our public schools are not Sunday schools, the statement said, and students of all faiths or no faith should feel welcome in them. This is par for the course, people. The officials of the United States governments have always been hypocritical to the word of God, no matter whether it came from the Quran, whether it came from the Bible, or it came from Torah. We already know that this is just a play to inject Christianity or Judeo-Christianity as bastardized by Europeans into our educational system. This is not the worst thing that could happen in public schools, to be very, very honest with you. Having a little bit of spirituality does not exactly cause most people pause. But what we do know is that once you start to inject this level or this form of Christianity, what's going to happen for those students who are not of the Judeo-Christian faith, such as myself? I am a Muslim. I have Muslim children. I would not want my children to be inundated with Christian ideology unless it was a Christian school that I was paying for. You know, I think that oftentimes people want to say that we need more religion in schools. I think what we need is more morality in school. And I think that the last people to try to tell us when, where, and how to be moral are politicians, especially politicians in the South. Once again, this is another episode of All Things Education Official. Please subscribe, comment, like, and share. Tell me what you think about the Louisiana mandate that the 10 Commandments be posted up in the schools, public colleges, high schools, elementary schools. I have my thoughts, but I'd love to hear yours. You are dismissed.
Yeah! You are all expurgated. You are dismissed.